Welcome to the Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. Man, I got the dopest gig in the world. I get to have conversations with entertainers and entrepreneurs and listen to their inspiring stories. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and listen on all podcast platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. What's good, world? It's the homie Slick Sean, the host of Spotlight Series podcast. And the guest I have today, this lady is super dope. She's a host, curator, socialite, promoter, event coordinator, and she's successfully curated events since 2001. I'm talking about 20 years in South Florida. Welcome to the Spotlight, Ingrid B. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm blessed, you know what I'm saying? I got dope people like you coming on the show to have conversations with. You know, our life couldn't be better, you know what I'm saying?
Your teeth straight, they pretty, life is good.
Yeah, life is good. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You know, I say questions, but we just have conversations on the Spotlight series. So where are you from?
Originally Barbados. I was born in Jamaica, but I'm not Jamaican. I was raised in Barbados, and I've been in the States since 84. Yeah. 84, yeah.
So how was island life growing up?
Lovely. It was great to grow up on the islands. The only thing terrible is that I don't appreciate Miami Beach beaches because I know better. Ooh, you're going to hear a lot of Spanish in the background because my nail salon is Dominican. So they're moving me around. They're doing things. I don't know what's happening right now. Go ahead. I told her I had an interview. She's like, I'm going to do your nails anyway. I came here for a pedicure. Okay. This is what we're doing. Hey, it's family, so you know how that goes.
I thank you. I already know you're a dedicated person because you are doing this interview. You didn't say, "Hey, Slick, you know I can't make it. Let's postpone." No, you doing it right here, right now.
Yes, sir.
So, how'd you get into entertainment? You do a whole lot of stuff, and you've been doing it for a long time. How did you get into it all?
I mean, the story has been told. It really started out as a favor for a friend, but I basically do the events that I would want to go to because they don't happen here in South Florida. So that's basically it.
So the events that you do, like I got some emails that I'm talking about, they from some years ago where I had linked up with you. I didn't get to make it to an event, but I was actually going to come. I'm talking about some emails from like, I want to say like 12 years ago. Like you have really been doing. So what's the key to this longevity? Because I've seen people come and go in the entertainment field and also in what you're doing.
You got to love it. Especially with poetry and live music. This is not, you know, your money maker. You're going to make money, but you're not going to make money. You know what I mean? Not right now. It's coming though. Let me take that back. It's good. I'm going to put it in the universe. You are going to make money, but it is a struggle. This is not promoted or marketed in the mainstream the way it is in Atlanta, New York, DC, where you can walk into the Publix and hear Anthony David playing. You know what I mean? Yeah. South Florida is not that market. It has not been that market, but my goal is to make it that market. Even if you're not hearing it on the mainstream, you know that you can get it on the B side. And people know it. People have been following me around for 20 years. We just got to get to that tipping point and make it happen. But I'm a Taurus. We ride till the wheels fall off. We don't play them games. We don't give up, cancel. What you talking about? We gonna make it happen. You committed to doing this and you committed to going to the opening of one of your venues and the theme is jungle. So you got to put on a cute dress with sandals. So you got to get your feet done, but you got an 11 o'clock interview. So here we are.
And you a Taurus. Yeah, man. Taurus is, once y'all are grounded, you are unmovable. You know?
That is it. Consistency. Right. Yes. And passion. You really have to love it. Even if it is a moneymaker, at the end of the day, if you are sleeping well at night and you love something, those days that don't go the way you want them to, you wake up the next day like, okay, let me try this. It's like being anything in life, a teacher, podcast, whatever you're doing. If it doesn't go well or it doesn't get as many likes, the next time you're like, okay, let me try this, because it calls you, it speaks to you, it
Yeah.
chooses you more than you choose it. And so 20 years later, here we are.
I talk to a lot of curators, and we talk about, the money is just a byproduct of just being dope and just staying true to what you do and who you are. So you definitely right. Facts on what you said there.
Yes, sir.
So how do people follow you? Let us know how we follow Ingrid B, keep up with all these B-sides and everything.
There are several things that I'm trying to change. And number one is, you can follow me if you want to, or you can just Google me and go to my website, because we don't own Facebook and Twitter
Yeah.
and Instagram, and they can shut us down at any point. So
Yeah.
yes, at MS Ingrid B on Instagram, on the B side, on everything. But go to my website and get on my email list, so that in 10 years you could be like, oh my goodness, I'm like Sean now. I remember getting emails from her 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. So on the bside.com, 305-519-1369. The number is all over the internet, so I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to answer the phone, but you can text me.
That's
But
right.
that's it. So I am on every social platform. I got about 700 Instagram pages. Every event has its own page. Every idea that I think of, I make a page to make sure that social real estate is mine, but on the bside.com, period.
Yeah.
On the bside.com.
Got it. I'm following it now.
That
I'm about
is
to send you
dope. She
information.
said, Google me. That's all
Now,
y'all,
see, when
that's
you
all
go to
y'all need to know.
Instagram, when you go to Instagram and you type it on the B-side, you're going to get a white girl named Pam that lives in Orlando. And that is why I make sure that everything I do, I make a page. It's on the B-side ENT, but my page is MS Ingrid B.
That's a perfect segue. What is on the B side? Like, tell everybody what that is.
It's the only side to be on. My name is Ingrid. My last name starts with a B. So you need to be on my side, because it's a good side to be on. But when you used to purchase music back in the day, you might hear something on the radio like, oh my God, that's dope. And you go to the record store and you would go buy it, either your tape or your actual vinyl, and you would go home and listen to it. And then you flip it over and you're like, ooh, what is this? Like, this, I bought the album for this record, or I bought the single for this record that I heard on the radio. But the good is on the B side. And that's what the B side is. So Miami is fabulous. The club scene is fabulous. It's amazing. Turn up. This is where you come to party. But the good is on the B side.
Ooh, the B side. So is it like events? It's like events and everything that you put on, right?
Everything. We are ratchet to revolutionary here. So we could be talking about kind of well, yes, the soul of South Florida is on the B side.
So tell me about this Summer of Soul. What's up with that?
The B-side Summer of Soul, I just like it because, I like to play on words. It's poetry kind of vibes. So Summer of Sam is, so like I said, ratchet to revolutionary. It's going to make you think of something else. So Summer of Sam, there are movies on it. You can look it up. It's a New York phenomenon that happened. So that's Summer of Sam. I'm like, no, this is the Summer of Soul. We do a winter solstice, you know what I mean? Which is solstice, but we spell it SOUL stis. I have recently started working in the school system because before I started doing events, my goal was to be a teacher. And then poetry found me and kidnapped me for 20 years. So my plan is that during the year, there will be fewer events, but the summer we turn up because obviously I'm not working. So that's where we're at, B-side Summer of Soul. So I've got 3 events running, 1 in Sunrise, 2 in Hollywood, and I'm looking for a Miami location. Like, it's not a game. So live music, poetry, 3 times a week, and a little bit of everything. The Bohemia Room has returned. The first week we do fashion. So my best friend, one of my best friends, owner of Natural Trendsetters, we do fashion shows and talk about the art of hair and the beauty of Black fashion. We have vendors every week So the art of entrepreneurship. So it's everything that falls under being melanated, being
Mhm.
Black, being in business, being an artist, whether you're making art that's wearable or performing art that feeds the soul.
Oh, nice. It sounds like you got South Florida on lock.
I'm trying. It's
Woo.
real in these streets. It's hard out
It
here for a
is, ain't
pimp.
it? You make it look so good.
Have mercy.
For
Done
sure.
and being what do you call those people? Contortionist. I'm a whole contortionist over here right now.
Man, perfect segue.
Everything is a
Man,
perfect segue for
it
me.
is, man. It's just flowing so good. The next thing I want to talk about, I see that you do a lot with outreach with reproductive health, domestic violence, and mental illness. Talk to us more about those outreaches that you do.
So we've started Soul Survivors after a poet was murdered. She was 25 years old. Her name was Lori. Murdered 2 weeks after her divorce became final. Uh, After a poetry spot, she went home, and her ex-husband was in her house and murdered her while her mother and her two sons were in the house.
Mm.
That was 2004. And then Hurricane Katrina happened, and we met Sonny Patterson that year in August, the beginning of the month, during the National Poetry Slam, which was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We met her there, and then Katrina happened. She is from New Orleans. So the next event we did was for her the following year in 2005. And then every year, there has been something that we needed to support, celebrate, commemorate, acknowledge. So Soul Survivors is an event we do in October, which is National Domestic Month. We do To Her With Love and The Clutch, sometimes in March, which is Women's Month. And because the brothers are always like, yo, what's up? We're starting to serve with love because we need to acknowledge the traumas that they go through. My new thing, in addition to domestic violence, in addition to mental health, and because of people that I know and myself who have suffered from depression, mine due primarily to fibroids and having to have a hysterectomy, and women not being listened to or heard when they say, I'm bleeding out, I'm hemorrhaging, I'm tired. Those words not being acknowledged by doctors as this person is not functioning and having a full life because of these tumors that are in their body. So when I had my hysterectomy, my womb was the size of somebody 5 months pregnant, but I wasn't pregnant. It was all tumors, which means you're bleeding out every month. Energy is trash, and you're basically functioning at like 40, 50%. So that is something I talk about. But what I wanted to add was we need to really discuss fathers' rights. Yes, there are fathers that don't take care of their children, but there's a lot of fathers that want to, and their previous partners are in the way of that for no valid reason. And I think that that is a phenomenon that really needs to stop. Does it happen to women too? Most definitely, where the other partner is mad, so they make things difficult. But these custody cases and visitation cases where you just mad because that man don't want to be with you no more, you have to love your children more than you hate their other parent. So barring physical abuse or mental abuse, I really feel there's a special place in hell for women who use their children, or anybody that uses their children as weapons against the other parent with no valid cause. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. So we're celebrating the brothers all month. We're doing To Serve with Love on Father's Day. We are having conversations about fathers' rights and putting information out at the Bohemia Room, with sessions that we have in the back room in private for people that I know. I know way too many people that are going through that, where the relationship has ended and now you holding the children hostage for visitation. It's not cool. It's not cool. And in the end, those children hate you for it. So I
Yeah.
don't understand that, because when they grow up, they figure it out. They might play along when they're young, but
Mhm.
eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to literally hate you for taking away that other parent. You can look it up. Your other parent could be the worst human being on earth. People always seek out that missing person. Always, no matter what. They could have been abusive. they will always seek out the love for that other parent. And if it doesn't come from that person, they're going to seek it out in other ways. For our girls, that's definitely a problem. For our boys, it's definitely a problem because they need their fathers. We can mother them all day long, but we cannot father them. We cannot father our children. So
That is true.
that's where I'm at.
Definitely.
See, ratchet to revolutionary.
Yeah, that's facts on facts. Everything you said. Yeah, no doubt. So as far as like what's next for you, do you have any new endeavors that you're taking on, or anything with film, or give us some juice. Give us some juice on here.
You know what's happening? Everything that the universe wants to happen for me. There's some things that I want to have happen. I want what God and the universe wants for me to happen. I want my own venue. It's going to happen when the time is ready. I'm actually about to start continuing working on a podcast series that I have called The B-Sides, that is now probably about to be video as well. There's a lot of stuff happening, and people are being placed in my life to assist with that. And it's a good feeling. Usually I'm the one pouring, but there's a lot of people pouring into me right now in the right ways. And I'm open to all of it.
Oh, that's lovely. That's right. You do have to open yourself to receive. And man, when
yes,
you do,
right.
You'll get it too.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So final question, like for people that not necessarily do what you do, but have a dream, a goal, and aspirations, can you give some words of encouragement for people that's just trying to complete a goal or dream?
Make sure it's your goal or dream. That's the most important. It has to be yours. It can't be, they say, imitation is a form of flattery. No, imitation is a form of theft. There could be 500 poetry spots in South Florida. Each one is going to have its own vibe, its own energy, because the person curating it has their own vibe and energy. And if you try to do exactly what somebody else is doing, or the goal is to compete, you will always fail every single time. You have to want it, you have to love it, and you have to do it because you love it and want it, not to, with poetry events, people are like, oh, this looks easy to do. This looks like a hustle. Let me do it. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I watch them come and go. It is not that simple. It really isn't. So I would say when you find your passion or your passion finds you, follow it, figure out a way to make your passion your prosperity. That's one of my sayings. Let's make our passions our prosperity, and be authentic. Be authentic and be consistent.
It is. The facts she just spoke, y'all. I hope y'all are taking heed, writing down notes and all that, because she's telling the truth. Well, Ingrid B, we appreciate you for stopping by. We thank you again for coming through. We appreciate you and wish you blessings on all your endeavors. I just want to let you know, in a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.
Oh, okay. Come on, T. Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching Spotlight Series Podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. You can follow on Facebook, Spotlight Series Podcast, on IG, spotlight.series1. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and stream on all podcast listening platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.